Hi, I'm Mariam Afzal and I work as a software engineer in ValueLink Connect.
Hi, I'm Bisma Mansoor and I work as a software engineer in ValueLink Connect.
Hi, I am Isha and working as a software engineer in the team Value Link EPC.
Okay, let's get down to business. Will AI replace software engineers or not?
I don't think so. I think AI can be a good collaborator, but it cannot be a competitor as long as you know how to use it smartly. So, if there are like heavily repetitive tasks or high volume tasks, you can give them to AI. But for deeper problem solving or creative thinking or innovation, that still needs a human touch.
See, I agree with this. I have the same point of view that AI could take up some of the functions of software engineering. It has already. It could maybe a few more functions, but not overall. I feel like it won't be taking up all the functions of software engineering. Whatever the humans are doing, it can't exactly replicate that.
So I think there's certain things that AI can do and there's certain that AI cannot do. Uh, while AI is good at generating code, but there are a lot of things that uh, the AI cannot do. Let's say if we talk about empathy, let's say we have a demo with a client, okay, and the client says we showed the client some feature and the user says that it's fine. So as a human being we can identify that the emotion behind that it's fine, whether it's helpful or the user is unhappy or not. But for AI it's fine is just it's fine, it's okay, great, we can go ahead. So I think there are a lot of things that AI cannot do. So AI can definitely be helpful, but I think it cannot replace humans.
In terms of generating code, I think AI can do it up to an extent. What I feel like, before employing AI to write the code, you need to know the logic building, what you exactly want from that code, and maybe you can give prompts that give you a similar sort of code which you can modify to your needs. Matlab, I do that. I have to give a prompt to, say, Claude, and then I get a code which I still have to modify according to my needs, according to my product, according to what I think would be best for my user base, my product's user base, right? So it is generating code. It can write unit tests. I have employed it to write unit tests, but what I have seen up till now, that it still needs some sort of modification, and for that modification you really need to know that what you are doing actually, what you want from that. If you don't know it, what you want from the code, if you don't know how to do that critical thinking, if you don't know how to do that logic building yourself, it's just it would throw you into a loop. The chat gpt and the Claude would throw you into a loop of codes and codes of and lines of syntax that you don't know and you can't debug. So I feel like you have to know it first to employ it to generate code.
I think I have a very similar experience. Uh, in my experience, I can prompt AI to build me a skeleton function or a boilerplate code, but the context behind that code, I have to look into that myself. And uh, the skeleton function that AI provides me does not keep into context the long term business needs or the performance or the scalability of that code. And I myself have to look into those like aspects.
I definitely use AI while doing my work, and Claude is my favorite among all those chat bots available. I think AI is Claude helps me refine my solutions, but and sometimes also finding the edge cases that I might miss. But in the end, the final call is mine.
Okay, so apart from asking, like taking help from AI to write the code, what I usually do is I also like consider AI as my teacher, and it's really good at explaining complex technical concepts to me, and it does it in a very straightforward and easy manner.
Yeah.
So that really increases my speed and efficiency while I'm programming. Stemming from my point, I think that there's a need for engineers to govern and guide AI. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, I think, sure, of course, because the way I see it is not just about the technology that you have in your hands, it's how you are employing that technology. It's how you are training that bot. So, of course, there is a growing need for engineers to govern AI in the right direction, because obviously, as we have seen from a few examples, that it could very easily lead to destruction rather than productivity, right?
So if we talk about a human edge over AI, I would definitely think that it will be human brain. So what AI is trying to do is mimic the human intelligence. So the human brain is, I think, our edge. It can not only understand the logics and emotions, which I think AI lacks.
So apart from human brain, I think that we have two genders, and those two genders bring in their own unique perspective and a unique lens towards problem solving.
Yeah.
So that is also something that AI cannot compete with.
Yeah.
So if we talk about ourselves as female software engineers, I think we also bring something very unique to the table, and that is, in my opinion, women are like generally higher in emotional intelligence, and we can read between the lines of what our client wants,
Yeah.
or what the stakeholders want, and what kind of solutions that they're looking for.
Yeah.
So in that aspect,
It's not always about being logical.
yeah,
It's not about being logical and building the right logic. You have to bring certain empathy to the table as well while building solutions for the customers, because they are also real persons. They have their nuances, they have their biases as well. You have to play into that. I also feel that women bring a different perspective to the table.
So I guess while we're talking about AI systems, so we are talking about the systems that are not just meant for one particular group of people. Okay, we are talking about the system, designing of the system which belongs to a particular whole population. But in the end, you're not just building for a male population or a female population. So if your team do not have right amount of both the perspectives and experiences, you end up building a system that might be good for just one group of people. And it's not just bad for the users, but it is also bad for the business. Does not necessarily been experienced by a male colleague. So I think that's one thing that we can offer. So I also think that women are good critiques. So like turning into like MBs, we have ambiguous requirements. So turning into refined requirements, and based on is what we can also offer. So basically, in my experience, I've also experienced that when you have ambiguous requirements, the way the women in the team thinks and refine those requirements is different than that males can do. So
just like you talked about how women have like a very different experience from how men function in the society, I also think that even if you compare to male software engineers, they might also have very different experiences. And if we look at our society, every individual has a certain perspective, they have certain experiences that they bring to the table to solve any particular problem. And AI cannot be trained on like thousands and billions of different perspectives. So in that aspect, humans still are over the year. I think I agree with both of you, and it really emphasizes the point on why we need software engineers to govern AI and guide AI into which direction it needs to go.
Building on your point, what I feel like is that we are using AI very heavily in two sectors of our life, like two parts of our life, in the education industry and when you're actually practically on the job edge, in which you are employing AI to help you do the job. Governing that AI is so important, and with that, we need to limit the AI as well. We need to limit what kind of usage we are doing. We need to limit the extent of usage we are doing, especially in the education sector. What I feel like is that they are the students themselves and the teachers who are using it very extensively are limiting the capabilities of the students. They are limiting their critical thinking skills, they are limiting their creative skills, because when you employ AI for all learning purposes, when you employ AI for writing the papers for you, writing the researches for you, writing your assignments for you, you are essentially asking it to be a student instead of you, thinking instead of you. You are not actually learning from that, because if you have not put up the hours to do a report or an assignment, you won't actually get that knowledge. You'll just get a few bullet points, which most of the students nowadays do, that they just ask ChatGPT for a few bullet points to pass the Viva exam and actually make it write the whole report, because they think that it's a waste of time to write a whole report or write a whole project when the AI can do it for you. Uh, AI can build a dashboard for me. Why would I go and put up the logics and write the queries for it? It can do it. It's not going anywhere. That's the argument that I hear the most is like whenever I tell someone, okay, you need to work on your critical thinking skills. You need to build the logic yourself, because if you're not doing it today, if you're not doing it in your education, you won't be able to do it if you need to. And they say that we won't need to, because AI is there. The AI would be doing it for us for all our lifelong, for all the foreseeable future. But what this does is it not only limits their capabilities, it limits their confidence, because I don't feel like anyone who is employing ChatGPT to learn, to help themselves make things, would have any sort of confidence on their skills if need to be, if need to be employed. And what it does is it would eventually give AI some sort of edge over the humans from the learning perspective. Because when you are limiting yourself to the thinking of a machine, when you're saying, okay, this is my critical thinking skills that are of an AI, of a machine, so you are limiting yourself to those capabilities. You are taking your edge out.
So on the other hand, I think I don't believe in the idea of reinventing the wheel. I think we should and definitely should employ AI into education. So if we should be more adaptable going forward, we should become more adaptable. We should learn how to do our things with the help of AI, and not just like ignoring it completely and learning all the fundamentals. Because in the coming year, what we see is AI will be doing the generating the codes. It will be able to generate the codes based on the proper given instructions. So it's all about giving the you'll get better results if you articulate your problem. So basically you need to adapt yourself to become um, indispensable. You don't need to completely ignore one thing that AI can do, and you are relearning doing those things. So I believe yeah, we should be adaptable enough to use AI to, like, both things should go hand in hand. Okay, so if you know that AI will be doing the coding, so you can focus on other skills, such as articulating your complex problem. You could work on your communication skills, problem framing skills. You can work on things that will help you transform the uh, problems, the solutions, the business goals into technical solutions. So I think that's the right way to go.
I think that was a very good point, and we've had a very fruitful conversation about will AI replace software engineers or not. I think that the advice I would like to leave viewers with is don't try to compete with AI, but use it as a collaborator, and make sure that you're focusing on the things that AI still does not know how to do, which is deeper problem solving and innovation. You always need to think beyond what AI is telling you, and because there are many perspectives which are still not explored by AI, and only you know them.
Okay. That's some good advice, Mariam. And what I would like to say is AI or not, what I feel that viewers need to do is keep yourself in a continuous learning mindset. Because it's AI today, it could be something else. The field is always evolving. What you need to do is you need to keep your head down and just continue to learn, even when you leave the educational institutes behind, when you come into the practical field. You still need to keep a continuous learning mindset.
The one thing that I would like to add is the hands-on experience on the projects. I would suggest to the people who are coming, who are new to the field, that start building small, and then also join online communities, and seek help from the people there, and seek guidance from the mentors. uh, I think the learning curve is steep, but as you get going, you'll realize that you belong there as much as anyone else do.
So, girls, the question was, will AI replace software engineers or not? I think AI cannot replace you, but those who know how to use AI smartly definitely will.